Welcome to Selling Out.
Coming up on today's episode.
So you're mincing from a very young age.
Yeah, I was thinking mincing.
That's why I'm a professional.
You're a professional mincer.
As a sworn lesbian, I cannot wear heels, but
Yeah.
I'm very good on a 6 foot still.
All or nothing.
Yeah.
All or nothing with the lesbians.
But it's true, but it is. Because people always have opinions and try to tell you, what you can do, what you can't do.
You were going to say strip club there.
Yeah, that's why they contacted me.
Yeah.
Before we welcome today's guests, a quick thank you to our brilliant sponsors.
Yeah, if you're heading to Brighton and you want to make the trip legendary, quite literally, book your stay at Legends Hotel right on the seafront and just steps away from the city's best nightlife.
They're also the home to some of Brighton's hottest drag shows, so you can sleep, sip and party all in one place.
Book at legendsresortbrighton.com and tell them we sent you.
And if your current headache is less, where am I staying this weekend, and more, how do I buy this house?
Mortgage Medics have you covered. They specialise in straightforward, no drama mortgage advice, whether you're buying your first place, moving up or refinancing.
Their team take the stress out of the process, find the right deal for you, and make sure you're smiling long after you got those keys.
Basically, they're your home-owning headache cure.
So go to mortgage-medics.com and tell them we sent you.
Hello, welcome to Selling Out.
Hi.
Melanie and Dan.
Melanie and Dan, welcome.
We've got an artist special for you, everyone.
Yay.
Artists in the house. The business of art. But as we start every episode, Dan Taffs, please tell us the letter of the alphabet that you most affiliate yourself with and your pronouns, please.
I am G.
You're
the
big
gay,
on G.
and I am he, him.
Hey, Melanie?
Like me? G, he, him?
Yeah, you are one of those, yeah. Melanie.
I suppose L would be mine, but I often just use the G word as well, and my pronouns are she, her.
Nice, nice. So, our first question is always, what was your first job?
Dan, what was
Take
your
us
first
back to
job?
that
Take
little
us back
Dan.
40 years.
Chic. How dare you? No, I was still at school and was helping a single mother. So I had a paper round to start with and then realised it was not enough. So I had a paper round and worked at a butcher's.
Oh, wow.
Paper round, but what did you do at the butcher's? What is the entry job for a butcher?
Mincing meat.
Oh, Dan. Where was this? What part of the world did you grow
This
up in?
was in Blackpool, and the butcher's was in a small little town off it called Cleveley's, and was taught to skin and pretty much do everything in a butcher's.
Oh, God.
So you're mincing from a very young age.
Yeah, I was thinking mincing.
That's why I'm a professional.
You're a professional mincer. God, to our vegetarian and vegan listeners, apologies for the we should
I
put a
know,
trigger.
but
I think we
most
should
of
maybe
you-
put a trigger
Yeah.
warning. I'm veggie, and
Yeah.
lovely. And was that a fulfilling? Which did you like more, the meat,
Oh,
meat mincing, or
no.
the newspaper round?
The newspaper round. I've always been physical, so I loved being out and about, either walking and delivering them or on a bike. The butcher's was a very straight man's world. So it wasn't...
How did that feel as little queer kid?
I already knew that I was gay, and at the time hadn't told anyone. So going into it, everyone was talking about women, sports, just blokes being blokes, and it was uneasy. Even at a young age, I knew I didn't fit in. So I was conscious that it just wasn't there for me. But it was also a very hands-on job, which I've always liked anyway, but it just, yeah.
I think that because I think my kind of first foray, I've spoken about this before, is like in my dad's industry. My mum and dad have a company that's conveyor belts and very like warehouse and hard kind of work for the people in the yard. So I would like spend summers there away whenever I was off school. But it's that thing of like exactly that kind of talk and that kind of atmosphere, and then fitting in and how you adapt yourself and how you then you kind of adapt yourself to fit in, I guess, and hide parts of yourself.
And you change the way you talk, the way
Yes.
you hold a conversation or the way you'd start a conversation. You just self-edit constantly. But
The straight jacket is on.
So
literally.
So when was that? So in Blackpool, how many years ago was that? Well,
That was 18 years ago.
And was it because obviously Blackpool now has got quite a big LGBTQ scene?
It's
Did it have?
always-
Oh, it always has.
Always
a bit like
had.
Brighton.
It was a very, very, very welcoming town.
Okay.
Had loads of gay bars, and then the only reason why the gay bars just disappeared was COVID, because they were all independent bars. They weren't chains. They weren't anything. They weren't owned by breweries. The people who ran them and owned them just couldn't afford to reopen them because of furlough and all the normal stuff throughout lockdown, unfortunately. But I went back August just gone for my birthday, and there's 9 new gay bars.
Oh, wow.
It's incredible. But they've all got...
Rejuvenation of the scene.
Yes. One of them's my favourite one. It's called Sherlock's.
Sure.
And it's all the little nod to the BBC one with Benedict Cumberbatch with his little spark with Moriarty.
Oh.
It's like the little underlying hidden meaning. So it's called Sherlock's. It's
like
great.
that.
It's great.
Go with your pipe and your deerstalker. I like it.
That is their logo.
I love that. Melanie, take us back to your first job, first foray into the world of work.
I had a few, but I was again in school. But I started working for a local artist there who did our we had a festival called Surf, Stockton International Riverside Festival, but it was a little it was mainly local. I think it's a lot bigger now, and it's someone's made it in a corporate event. But we used to do the festival parade, so I would, every summer I'd go and work for her and make costumes and the kind of make sculptures for the kind of parade, and then I started stilt walking because they did this thing where they sent round for the year 2000. That's aging me, isn't it? Where they sent round circus skills around local schools, and we were like in a kind of depleted part of the country. So we had some classes, and I took to stilt walking really well. So then I ended up running our local stilt walking group, and then we did parades for Christmas, like any kind of event. So I used to run the group for this artist called Barbara Agar. So she gave me my first like chunk of work right at the beginning, and then when it was like in and out of festival season, I used to work in restaurants or bars or whatever, and I started working in TGI Fridays when I was like 17.
Oh, really?
Okay.
DJ Friday's doing the birthday songs for everyone. I bet you'd love that.
Yeah, I now cannot stand that song. But I worked there till I was about 24, I think. Because
Okay,
I
so that was
started in
consistent.
Teesside, and then I finished in London, in Covent Garden.
Started in Teesside, did you say?
Yeah,
And then
I moved for uni to London, and
Then
so I transferred to Covent Garden.
So
Right.
stilt walking, is there a? Do you start like a low? Is there like a
My
progression?
height.
you start. Yeah.
Well, you start on platform shoes.
See, I mean, as a sworn lesbian, I cannot wear heels, but I'm very good on a 6 foot stilt.
All or nothing.
that's
All or
right.
nothing
That's
with the
really-
lesbians.
6 foot. Wow, 6 foot still.
I mean, I've still got my stilts, and you can rest on them, like kind of chin height. So, I actually
obviously, how
walked
do you-
Pride in them one year, London
Oh, wow.
Pride,
Wow.
the Stonewall.
And what do you use ladders to get onto? How do
No, you just find a car or a van or something, or a wall.
Gary's very interested. Do you want to take up? I mean, Melanie
no, I
can
think
teach
it'd be
you.
good.
I would teach you if you
Coordination's not
It's been
your
a while
strong
since I've
point.
been at them.
Yeah. So you start. So wow. So straight out the gate, creative like that. That was a big driver for you,
Yeah.
and then obviously, I guess TGI Fridays was consistent money
the rent,
and like
yeah.
pay the rent. So what was it like that going into that kind of? Obviously, TGI Fridays is quite a big corporate kind of, but I guess they get transient staff, or they get like what was it like starting in Teesside in a place like that?
I mean, it was. To be fair, I'd gone in because I was at risk of being kicked out because I'd come out and I needed to pay rent. And I went in and I was just really upfront with the person who interviewed me, and I was like, basically, I need this many hours so I can cover rent. And she was like, well, you're not old enough to wait tables yet, but we can get you doing all the other shit. So, so I ended up dessert weedy, bussing tables, whatever. So I could earn 100 quid a week. That's what I needed. So, and then once I was old enough, they then trained me up to wait tables. But they were a family. Like, they just took me in, they looked after me. I could then afford to like do college because I was at sixth form at the time, and then ended up, I did a foundation year. I stayed in through all the way through foundation, and then when I moved to London, I needed to work as well, so I got a job there. But We are a lot of people that work in restaurants and stuff like that. It's not our main goal, but it's to do something so we can do something else. So there are lots of creative people there, or they're
Yeah,
paying family
absolutely.
wages,
Yeah.
or they've got whatever on the side. So most people go in and have fun and work hard. And in Fridays, because you could earn tips in at the time, it was worth it. So, but I always felt looked after there. So I don't really have a bad word to say about it, because.
But that's having that kind of thing, and you know, being so upfront at the start and saying this is what I need, and
Yeah.
having someone who's receptive to that as well.
Yeah.
Were you open to them? That person, or who was the person? Was it a manager or
Yeah,
someone?
she's actually still runs the place.
And really,
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
she's
okay.
called Mary. Mary
up, Mary.
Eglinton. Yes.
big up Mary Eglinton. Who probably,
But she was like just an assistant manager, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
But she did my first interview, and she was like, "Fine, we'll get you in, give you the hours."
and when you say you were open with her, were you also open about the fact that you were gay, that you were a lesbian, or were you not? Was that not so
I
much?
can't remember. I think I must have been.
Right.
But I wasn't with this. Yeah, because I was open there. I wasn't open in Covent Garden for a while
Right.
because I didn't know London.
Yes,
But
you were a bit safe.
I was open in Teesside, yeah.
Yeah.
So she must have known from the beginning.
Yeah, because the reason it's those people who kind of give that, I guess, opportunity, or that kind of, you know, you're upfront about needing something at that time, and it's like the support network that you build in those
Yeah.
kind of places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think hospitality is like that. Obviously, I started my career in McDonald's, but hospitality does build you as a person, I think.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
You know, it gives you the structure, and you know, there's great people that come through and work, and it
Yeah.
is very lots of young people work in hospitality, and I think it's something that's really good to do to start, because it kind of shapes you as a person.
It does.
And also, you're
'Cause you-
dealing with the general
It's
public,
general
so
public.
it's hard.
Yeah, exactly. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really hard.
And in
Yeah.
Teesside, we're watching Smoggy Queens at the minute.
Yeah,
Shout
good.
out Smoggy
Yeah.
Queens. We met.
I know, I love that
Yeah,
show.
we were at Gadio in London,
London.
and met Phil Dunning, who's the creator and also plays Dickie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He's amazing. Yeah, did get a really amazing interview. But yeah, big up Teesside listeners and watchers.
It's great seeing all the little places in there. And actually, in the first episode of the second series, they're in the carpet shop. Have you seen the second series? yet?
No, we're just watching season one.
We're late adopters.
Don't spoil. Don't
I
spoil
won't, I
it.
won't say anything else. But the person that runs the carpet shop, my dad's a radio engineer, and he used to make radio adverts. And the guy that runs it used to work with my dad, and he did this big advert for Frank's Factory Flooring, and it's kind of based off that. Like, you wouldn't know the tiny little connections
Yes.
if you weren't from Teesside. So that it's actually shot in Frank's Factory Flooring.
I love it.
In a carpet shop with the guy that used to play Frank in the adverts.
No, I
Wow.
love it.
Like,
That is a nice little Easter egg.
It's a tiny world, but yeah, because I saw it and I told my dad to watch it, and he wasn't keen on watching it. He thought it might be too gay, but I was like,
Too gay for it. No, Frank's carpet shop's in
Frank's
it. My God, you've got a convert just by having Frank in. Very gay. Oh, it's just nonsense. I love it. I love it.
It is.
So that was the start of work. Yeah.
Start of work for both of you. So Dan, then where did you go from the butcher shop? Did you go to
Where do
university?
you go from a butcher shop?
Did you go to uni?
No, I didn't go to uni. I did Blackpool and the File College for stereotypically travel and tourism. Did that, spent some time in France working on a holiday key camp with everything from the Children's Club to Saga Holidays.
Nice.
Great. And then came back, finished my diploma with it, and then did business management and marketing. So I knew I could do something creative, because working as a rep, we had to put all of the posters together for the excursions. And so that was like, I did artwork anyway, but it was only doodles and sketches and stuff. But then we got asked to create branding for a company that didn't exist as part of our course. And we had to pretty much go to Virgin Holidays. We had to go to Thompson's at the time, now TUI, and say, would you put this up in your key camp? And 3 out of the class of 40 were chosen, and mine was chosen to go in this key camp in France. So I ended up creating a walking tour of France, and it was all food related, because I'm a massive foodie. But yeah, it was great. And that was my first bit of proper artwork. And then it just spiraled from there.
So you've always been, because I think there's that thing, isn't there? I'm very creative, but I need a creative outlet, and I think I stifled that for a long time in my career, and I kind of, that sort of manifests in different ways whenever you don't let it out, like let your creative out. But I saw loads of your sketch drawings of buildings and things like that you've got on your Instagram that's where it started then, the love of drawing. And...
So I I don't know where it came from, but I love architecture. I love structure. I love the old-fashioned buildings. And I used to take a little postcard-sized sketchbook with me and a pencil or a pen, and I'd sit in a coffee shop and draw what was in front of me, whether it would be in London or in Manchester or on a tour of the UK, like the NC 500 in Scotland. I did bits of drawings all over the UK and absolutely fell in love with all of it. And then adopting the queer side of artwork as well. So anything to do with expressing me, how my mind works, how my heart works, all of it into artwork on paper. It was more challenging because it was being more vulnerable. But seeing it out there finally was like, I quite like it. And then now I've been with the gallery at the Brighton Box for quite a while now, and seeing my artwork on a wall, I'm still sat there going, I love the fact that it's on a wall, but why do you want to buy it?
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, it really is. But no, being at the gallery now, I've been an artist there for 3 years, and it's such an incredible feeling to have someone believe in you and your art, to go, I want to represent you. And I'm like, okay, why? I do have days where I'm like, no, there's so much talent that's better than me. But there are days when I go, I'm proud of that, I've done that. And it's a really rewarding feeling.
Yeah, I bet it is. There's loads of stuff about, because there's that world of creative meets commerce where, the artists don't do it for, you don't make art for profit, or most people don't. I think most artists wouldn't say that. But it is, there's that world where obviously necessity means that you do. And then there's also that thing of validation and expectation, all that kind of stuff. It's fascinating. What about you, Melanie? What happened after? So you went to university. You were in London.
Yeah.
And what was it you were studying?
I did fine art at St Martin's.
Amazing.
Wow.
So, but I had gone down to like a university fair thing, and I only wanted to be in London. So I only applied to massive universities. So I applied to Goldsmiths, St Martin's.
Wow.
Slade, a couple of others, but St Martin's the one that took me in. But by that point, I was independent, so I was on my own. So I'd had to do all of the travel back and forth and stuff with this huge portfolio on trains and things. So by the time I got in, it was like overwhelming. But I only ever wanted to be down in London. So, but I got into a place called Byamshaw, which is a little private fine art school that St Martin's kind of enveloped. Which is why it was kind of open to me, because I got in on a council estate like grant thing, and they paid my fees and stuff, because I was like, I must have been one of the 5 poor kids they let in, because there was definitely 5 of us.
There were definitely 5 poor kids.
They're still my friends, but that was visibly who we were.
Yeah.
And then so I went there. My school was in Archway, and we were it was like an old school. Like, so it had proper studios, it had a sculpture yard, a dark room, not in a gay dark room, but for like printing photos and life drawing. And it was a really lovely place to thrive for 3 years. They didn't support you in any way. Like, you walked in, the first speech they gave was like, 2% of you out of this class of 60 will go on to be artists, and the rest of you will do something else. And it was like, off you go. Like, we'll see you later. But I lived in my studio. I had to work. I worked most weeks. I worked between 50 and 70 hours a week at Fridays. And then I was in the studio every day. But like, it taught me how to do that and be self-sufficient. And I mean, I had a really good opportunity to learn what it was to do the thing on your own, because they didn't hold your hand in any way. And it's a great name, but it to come out of with the St Martin's degree. And anyone who knows that the art world knows Byamshaw, it's even more kind of finesse. So unfortunately, they've now put it all into one building in King's Cross, and they've taken that campus away. So the kids that are now coming through don't get the same opportunities that we did, because their spaces are smaller. They don't get to live in their studios. Like, we got asked for a full 3 terms.
So the idea is that you live in the studio in that term.
Like, you don't live, but you spend. It's yours.
Yeah.
It's yours, yeah.
So now the kids go in and they get it turfed in and out of it.
Right.
Whereas I make massive work, and I got to make massive work in there because I had the space to do it.
And you could leave it there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was really lucky. And my final stuff I painted outside for my degree show, because it was that big. but I was given the space to do it. So
Wow.
so yeah, I got really lucky with it. And then I was living in flats and stuff. I've lived all over London because you get turfed out every 9 months. And then I found a studio warehouse in Hackney Wick, and they just closed the train lines for the Olympics. So it was cheap. I had no heating or anything, but I wanted it. So I moved in there, and then that's how I continued to paint, because I couldn't do both. I couldn't have a studio and pay rent anywhere after that. So then I had to live in the space I painted in. So I lived there for a couple of years.
And so I'm interested to hear sort of, we talked a bit about, that idea of having to make money, and I guess well, I suppose what was you obviously knew you wanted to be an artist, you wanted to paint, you wanted to be an artist from early on. What was your consideration in terms of, obviously I have to work to make money, but then what was your consideration of the art world at that time? Like thinking, right, is this going to be something, what was your view of the future, I guess, in terms of financial side of things?
I'd always had a job so I could do the thing I wanted to do, and that was just what I was doing. I was just getting by, and I was a kid, and I was in London when you can afford to do that, like I could have a job and eat, and pay and paint and stuff. But because I learned how to stretch my own canvas, make my own paint, like build all of my stuff myself, as long as I could do it on my own, then it didn't really matter. I wasn't paying anyone for anything, so all of it was on me. I used to pay for space in galleries to like exhibit and stuff, and work on the side. And I would work like 70-hour weeks for like Easter and summer holidays and stuff like that. So then I could take a couple of weeks off to go and paint in the studio, like in my space. But I would have to do that. I'd have to save up the time to get the time off. I met my wife kind of shortly, I don't know, when I was 23, 24, and I couldn't do the same stuff anymore, and so that's when my painting kind of stopped, and I went and got a job somewhere else. And I've only just started painting again the last couple of years, like full time. So I had like 15 years off basically. I was like painting at home, but not in the way that I am now. But that was my kind of trajectory. I was just going to keep going and see if something stuck. But every time I showed my work, it got positive reviews. So I think I could have got somewhere if I'd kept going, but I chose the wife.
Chose the wife.
I chose the wife.
The wife. What was, so for those 15 years that you were off painting? What work were you doing?
So every different job. Like I ended up in Kentish Town running a pub for a while. Hated that. I really don't ever want to be in management ever, so I didn't stay long. And I then went to Edinburgh for a while, worked in the Fringe, and then I qualified as a decorator. So I worked on my own as a decorator for a while. Did that for 4 years. And then I got sick. I got problems with my hips, and I had to have 2 massive surgeries back to back, pretty much. So I had some time out. And then while I was off, I started volunteering, and I was volunteering at Survivors Network, which is like rape crisis. And I just liked doing something for other people. Went back to uni, got a degree in criminology, and then I qualified as an LGBT domestic violence advisor. Did that for a few years.
So busy 15 years while re-educating, working in every sector.
I took 15 years out. Well, you didn't really.
If I'm not learning, I get bored. So if it starts getting,
I get that,
kind of plateau, I get really anxious. I'm scared to jump, but I have to jump. I have to do something. And then the funding got pulled for my work a couple of years ago, like completely out. So I lost my place at Arco within 2 weeks. And the studio came up. So I decided I would...
Oh, your place at Arco Boleno, you were working there as
their IDVA.
Okay.
And then, that kind of all finished. And while I was kind of trying to figure stuff out, this kind of workshop was presented as an opportunity. So I took it because I thought, well, if I give myself 3 years, try and live off my savings and see if I can do this again. My nana was really sick at the time. She's my parent and stuff. And so it was like kind of full circle. So it was a project, and I'm still kind of doing it. So that's my current project right now. So.
And I'm really interested to hear more about the work that you do. But first, Dan, what work have you been in then since give us a recap between Butcher and Box, Brighton Box.
So I got a small summer job in a friend's bar when I was 16 collecting glasses. It was a typical Blackpool stag and hen do bar. So it was loud, rowdy, and very, very aggressive stag do's. So
Lovely.
I knew where my place was. I learnt very quickly where to stay and where to be away from. And as soon as I turned 18, I got given a bar job in that bar and slowly worked my way up from glass collector to bar manager to assistant manager. And then the company was a family-run company. They owned 5 or 6 bars throughout the Northwest. And they bought a new premises called the Number 3. And it was a beautiful old building, which I loved. And they split the building in half. Half of it to the right was a sports bar, and the side to the left is where they contacted me. It was fully redecorated, all marble floor, blue mat, royal blue walls, and they were turning it into a cocktail and wine bar.
I thought you were going to say strip club there.
Yeah, that's why they contacted me.
A cocktail and wine bar. Ooh.
Yeah, so obviously, who doesn't love a cocktail? So I went on several courses throughout London and Manchester, getting taught how to make a cocktail from scratch, what ingredients are best and work well together. And then once I'd done it for a few months, we hired a load of new staff who were just coming out of college, and I had to teach them how to make the cocktails, and they had to be to a standard. Every cocktail had to be exactly the same for every customer. And again, that was where my creative side came in with the garnishes, making all the ice look pretty and everything like that.
Mixologist Dan.
So it was great. And I've been hired to do recent Christmas events to do cocktails and almost table service stuff. So it's still in my life.
Yeah.
And did that for quite a while. And then met my ex-partner James and moved to Devon, and lockdown hit.
How was that then?
Yeah. So ended up getting a job in Devon, working in small little Sainsbury's in meats and cheese. So wasn't really what I wanted to do, but it brought money in. And realised it wasn't for me because I've been a chatty person, I've been a people person all my life. And working that we had to keep 6 foot apart, couldn't actually have a conversation with anyone.
Oh, yeah, true.
So I felt really out of my comfort zone. I couldn't do anything that I would normally do. So I stopped that, went out looking for another job, and got a job as a trainee dental nurse.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
So
yeah.
I've been nursing for 6 years and now a dental receptionist, and help with all and any medical emergencies over the phone and via email now. So 2 very different roles.
I was going to say, yeah.
So
Wow.
I've gone from being in these luminous pink scrubs to now looking prim and proper, answering a phone, asking how can I help.
Nice.
I'd love to know how you, do a medical emergency via an email.
It's quite direct. Because a lot of people, especially if they're in pain and being in dentistry, if you're in pain, you physically can't talk because of swellings or abscesses, or if a tooth cracks or anything like that. You don't want to talk. You don't want to apply pressure in your mouth anywhere. So people will message and email in, and we'll go to call them, and it sounds like they're chewing a golf ball.
Oh, God.
So we have to do as much as we can via email, or ask them to come physically into the practice, and so we can assess it in person. But to have the nursing background to be able to work out what the dentist or clinician needs in a room, to then see what the patient needs are, to be able to make out whether they're nervous, whether they're anxious, or whether they're in that much pain they could have an outburst of just pure rage and anger because they don't know how to control themselves. We deal with everything, and it's everything from someone who's just a bit of a nervous disposition all the way up to someone who is severely autistic and sensory overload. The noises of a dental room are so loud. The noises are piercing, the sound of the suction, all of it.
You're taking us into the room right now. Anyone who's listening who's got a fear. It's so true. That, I mean, there's so many, I think that's also the thing about that thing of making spaces more comfortable for everyone and more, you know, accessible to everyone, and more, it ties into that whole thing of I was watching talking about this recently, the drop curb effect, which is you know, the drop curb in streets whenever you can, they were originally put in place for wheelchair users, but actually now we know they serve everyone with buggies, with things, with all sorts of things, bicycles. So it's called the drop curb effect, where accessibility actually helps everyone, and things like, you know, where we all use these devices where you tell it to set a timer or do whatever, those were only ever exclusively used for people with additional needs, or but they service everyone. So actually we always talk about inclusivity and having diversity and respecting people's different needs, and it actually helps everyone, because if you're more cautious of things that trigger some people, it actually is more comfortable for everyone a lot of the time.
I mean, recently, when I joined the dental practice in Brighton, I was the only male nurse. There was 2 male dentists, but they'd been there, one for 6 years and one for 11 years. But I was the newest guy to the practice, and to be a gay guy as well, everyone was like, oh, we've got a gay nurse.
Oh, is it quite Straitsville? Is it?
In Brighton, no.
I was going to say. Oh, where was this?
This is in Brighton.
Oh, this is in Brighton. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's an incredible job, especially to be a gay nurse and in a gay city, predominantly gay city, such as Brighton. It's incredible to be able to be in the position to make people feel safe.
Yeah, so
to
important.
make them feel seen.
So important, yeah.
And we've got so many patients who are AIDS and HIV positive, and they feel like they don't want to disclose that. Where I've had them ask the clinician to leave the room because they'd only want to disclose it to another gay person. So I've been privy to more information than a dental professional, which is a sign of trust. And I couldn't appreciate it more, to be seen in that position. It's incredible.
I love that. I would just take it back to so in terms of the work that you do. So obviously you both are in the Brighton Box. You've got work in the Brighton Box. Where else do you show elsewhere? You've got your studio. You've got, I see that you do open studio, right?
I just did the Arts Open Houses,
okay,
but it was only my second, so I'm just like getting back, and I didn't know Brighton in a creative way, like really at all. And I found that when I couldn't be creative, I couldn't even look at it or be a part of it, because it felt too sore. So even when I was decorating and stuff, I wouldn't go to galleries and things, because I just felt like I'm not part of that world anymore. So now it's opened up, and I'm seeing a lot more, and I'm happy to go to places where there's artwork.
Yeah.
But the open houses was just my second one this year. But I tally everyone that comes in and out, and so because there's only me, and I'm quite far out of the way. Like, I'm near St. Anne's.
Okay.
But to find me, I'm down a little Muse, so it's like I appreciate people making the effort.
Yeah.
But it also means I can kind of see how many people come in and out. But last year, I had about 300 people over 4 weekends, which is huge, and it was my first year.
Oh.
This year I did 3 weekends because I was away for one of them, and I had 900 people.
Oh my God, man, that's amazing.
Yeah, so like for other houses it might not feel massive, but for me, like to have that many more people come in and like and have the conversations and stuff, like it felt good. And I used to work for a framer down near the old market for quite a few years. I was at uni, and she was saying to me, like, you just need 3 solid open houses and people will take you seriously and they'll come back. So I had quite a few people come back this year, but I think I'm hoping the next one will be pretty solid.
Well, if you keep going that trajectory, the next one will be 2,700.
It's a maths person.
Right? Well, I'm a maths person.
Yeah.
You know? Sorry, I just get your mic.
So what I'm interested to know as well. Obviously, you do it from it's not obvious. I should ask you that. Where is it you draw your kind of creativity from, or when you sort of get in front of the canvas? And obviously, you do all of it, Melanie. You do the stretch that you said about preparing everything, and I guess that's part of the ritual and part of the process. But what are the feelings behind it, and the motivations? Because obviously, I imagine they're obviously not financial. They're to do with your need to do what you do. But then, what part of it does that financial side come in, and how does that feel when someone comes in and wants to buy or wants to commission or wants to...
I mean, the first time my work has been shown anywhere has been at the Brighton Box, and that's only since March.
Okay.
So, and I also, that's my entire portfolio they took, which is 4 paintings, because I hadn't had any work. So they've got all my stuff that's finished, which is great, but I also then had nothing for open houses. So I had to remake stuff, make more stuff, which is fine. But it also felt like a good problem to have, because I didn't think this time last year I would be at this point already. So my work was out, which is great. I haven't been at the position where it's sold yet, but my work is niche because it is the size it is. I'm doing different sizes just to figure stuff out.
Yep.
But for someone to come in and take kind of like pride in showing my work, every time I talk to Sean, who runs the Brighton Box, and he's so positive about it, I keep thinking every time I see him, he's going to say, look, this is enough, like take too much room out. But he's really positive. Every time I see him, he still wants more of my stuff. So I'm just going on that at the moment. There's been people that have talked about commissions when they come to open houses, but it's all about coming back on and kind of following that up. But at the moment, what I'm doing is building a portfolio that I can kind of maybe carry around a bit easier. And then I have one big one that I'm working on that's just for me. And then if I get it finished and people like it, then I'll show it. But I like to work massive, and then once all the canvas is covered, then I can pull detail in. The detail's the thing that I like to do. And I like that thing where people stand in front of my work and go, wow. And that's the thing that like makes me really excited, because I don't expect it. But every time people walked in the open houses this year, they kept just saying wow, and it made me feel really good. So
yeah, I love that. I really want to come and see. I've seen just through your social media some of the things you posted, that the cliffs.
Yeah, that's the one I'm doing for me now.
Oh my God, it's absolutely stunning. Like
Thanks.
I know it's
gorgeous.
It's so stunning, and I love your sunsets. I mean, the thing we love about living here in the coast is that those sunsets are just magical, and like it never ceases to amaze me whenever we're looking at things. And I always say to Gary's maybe a little less observant of things like that, I would say, or not observant, like appreciative of. I'll be like, oh my God, Gary, look at the sky. It's like a painting. Sorry, I didn't mean that as I didn't mean that as a good time. I meant that more as
okay,
like,
Gary?
I'm the one.
I'm okay.
I'm the one walking around going, oh my God, look at the sky. Whereas Gary's like looking at, oh, this is where we're going to get
you're
somewhere.
about to get
I
run
have
over
no
by
idea
a car.
exactly.
There's a car coming. There's a bicycle.
But
Johnny out the way.
My point is, that we are like spoiled. I think this part of the world, and I think that we've got this really rich history of artists and painters specifically coming down to capture that, and like the skyscape, the seascape is incredible, and you do it beautifully.
Thank
So,
you.
question for you: how did you end up in Brighton? Because we haven't.
So I think I did 11 years in London, and my wife and I went to the Isle of Wight for one of my birthdays, and we were just talking about how kind of tired we were of London and how people had moved out, and it was just a bit of a pain to get anywhere and do stuff now that we were kind of moving in different circles. So we wanted somewhere with a bit more space, and so my wife was still working in London at the time, and so we went down the coast, kind of from Devon all the way up to where we would live and where it would be feasible for her to travel to London from. And Brighton ended up being the place we stuck at, and then my best friend had just moved here, like 6 months before. I would have just packed a bag and slept on his floor and found a flat. Like that's what I would do. But she's a bit more grown up than me, and so booked a whole weekend where we would come and look at places to live and houses and stuff. And so we had that conversation in March, and in May we went house hunting or like house viewing, because she's just that kind of like type A person. So, and I think we were moved by the summer. Wow. It just happened like that. But I was just saying, we've just done 12 years in Brighton.
12
and it's gone so fast.
Yeah.
But there's not a moment that we ever regret coming here, because it's just been it's just full of everything.
Yeah, we love it. We've been here 16 years now, haven't we?
Yes, well, I'll be 16. You've been here 14.
Yeah, love it. Yeah.
Crazy. But I love people's Brighton stories. Everyone ends up here for a short time and then
never leaves.
Never leaves.
That's why
It's true. When did you end up here, Dan?
I've been here 5 years now. So was coming here quite regularly with my ex-partner on holidays for long weekends or bank holiday weekends and birthdays. And we both agreed that we loved Brighton. And the last time we came down, we organised a few viewings, and the place that we ended up getting was in Regency Square. So my kitchen island was the view of the West Pier. gorgeous. Couldn't be any more Brighton if we tried. And yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous. So I've just recently moved to my own place. I'm now in Hove.
Hove, actually.
Yes.
We're in
BN3.
Hove.
Yes.
We're in Hove, actually. We've always been in Hove. But yeah, I love it. I love it.
I adore Brighton. I love the culture. I love the mindset. I love the openness that anyone could be anyone.
Yeah.
As long as you're not offending or hurting someone, you can do what you want. And I love that because it's just such a nice place.
I think it's also the opportunity to find community, whether it's our community, whether
Yeah.
it's different communities of, I don't know, I don't really know about the arts community or I know that there's loads of stuff that happens in the city, but what does that feel like being, is there a arts community, creative community, or various ones that you're part of?
I mean, there is. I mean, whenever I go out and get art supplies, I will go as much as I can to Independence. And I meet my kind of people at those places because, one, they're trying to support another business. Two, it's people who are like-minded, creative people. It doesn't matter what type of art they make. They have the same mindset of, oh, what are you doing now? And it's always, oh, I can't wait to see when it's finished. It's just a positive attitude to do with it. Well, personally, I've never met another artist that will put another artist down. And I know they're out there, but I've not personally met one, and I think I'm quite lucky for that.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, even working at the Brighton Box, it's me supporting and as an artist, but also selling their artwork.
Yeah.
They're hopefully putting their trust in me to be able to talk about them, their artwork, their style, and it's such a great place to be.
And I think this is what I find fascinating as well, because I think there's always that thing when we knew we were going to have you on, and it's that thing of, it's almost sometimes looked down upon, that idea of art being sold or being for a business or being for, but obviously the ultimate goal, right, is to do the thing you love and earn a living for it. Like, that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So it's not like a dirty thing to be like, well, I need to, I think that gets muddied with the fact that you're creating things for that money. And if you then sell out to that, but I guess the way you described it there sounds a lot like the way we work with small businesses, business owners, people who are doing what they love in loads of different sectors. And we love to support them, and we love to, like, a bit like you are selling work of other people, like we love to support them and help them get business, because it changes your life ultimately. Like, it helps you live your life and doing what you want to do.
And for the Brighton Box Gallery to work with so many artists, because art is subjective. Everyone likes something different. So why would we segregate ourselves and work with one or two when we can work with as many as we possibly can? Because everyone wants something different on their walls. If we all wanted the same, it'd be a boring world. So it's great to have people like myself who do all the typography and queer art, as well as Melanie who does all the seascapes and beautiful sky scenes. I mean, they are two completely different worlds, but some people love mine, other people will love hers. That sort of people, there's no middle ground. And we find best part of the time where husband and husband, wife and wife, or husband and wife will disagree on one piece of artwork because he loves it and she hates it, or she wants it and she says why.
Yeah,
That's I guess
that's
it.
me with Johnny. I'm like, why?
Why? What about you, Melanie? Are you part of any sort of creative groups or hubs or otherwise, or any other communities?
So
that
the
have helped you?
first year I was in the studio, it was just a shed, so I had to build it. So we had to put the beams were exposed, so I literally had to insulate it. I put a shower and like a sink and stuff in it and made it mine. And I had to rebuild the front door as well because that was rotten. So for 6 months I just kind of cocooned in there. And at the same time I'd just lost my nana, so I was like not really talking to anyone, and I just had this little safe space to go to, which was lovely. And then bit by bit, as I've started to like poke my head out of the door, like the first thing I did was the open houses winter festival, but that was too much for me because it was too close and I wasn't ready for people yet. The summer one, and then my work was just not finished yet because I hadn't finished all the work that's now in the Brighton Box. But I got put into the Seven Dials Trail, which is because all the open houses festivals split into trails, so that when people do it, they just follow a map. And that group there then was so supportive, and they help with like flyering, or like I got a printer. from one of them this year with a discount. So I had my works. I only had a few of them, but I had a few of them printed, so I could sell prints and stuff. And one of them, called Abby Bowen, she did a sales and marketing course a couple of weeks before we did it. So I went along to that, and that was she's based in Brighton Art Space. So I went along then and met a couple more artists that then started following each other. And so it's literally just been like a slow kind of eke. I've, got to know people, but the open houses was good. And then I think Sean found me through Mary O'Cart.
Yes.
And Mary O'Cart, I painted her dress for her last Pride.
Oh my God, you did.
Yeah,
I've seen it. Yeah.
So that opened that up again, and I met Danny, who's Danny does drag through that, and so it's been good, but I've been able to do it at pace because I wasn't ready to show work, and I get quite anxious if stuff isn't ready or I don't like it, or I'm not, I don't like showing people work that I'm not happy with. But I also had to do it when it wasn't finished because it was happening before I was ready. Because Sean came to see me before my work was finished, but I was just taking it as it came. Like I didn't want to say no to anything, and I've just said yes to everything the last couple of years, and it's been working for me. I haven't had any sales of my work yet, but it's also not been out in the world for very long. But I feel like the progress in the last couple of years, a lot of it has been I've had my hand held, by people in the community that I didn't know a couple of years ago, and it's all come through art. It's all come through the creative community with it, So
I love that. I love the idea of it being you've had to cocoon yourself away, but practically, I'm sure, because you had work to do. You had to actually do the stuff, but also it's the protection, and I guess it's a very. It's sometimes quite it's an insular thing, painting like you with the canvas and you doing what you do is like a creative process that I guess feels quite tough to open up to people.
Yeah.
Let them into that process.
And I kind of, after losing, I always called her my parent. After losing my parent, it just felt like it was full circle. She supported me all the way through me painting and stuff when I was little. And so to go back to the thing that she would have loved me doing was it was the thing that kind of stopped me going and getting hammered and wasted and out of my mind and all the stuff. I'm really good at disappearing and disassociating. And I didn't. I just went to the studio and I painted. And I also was training to swim the channel in a relay in the summer. So I did that as well and painted. And it was a really healthy way, which I'm not used to, for me to deal with grief. And I did. I went to some therapy and painted. Like it just felt like, oh my God, have I just grown up?
I love that. So it's very grown.
So a lot there, but swim the channel. Wow.
Yeah, I'm in a queer swimming group called Out to Swim.
To swim
and I joined them just after COVID. So that's been a really big part of my Brighton kind of discovery as well.
Wow. And you see swim?
Yeah, we're doing the Bristol Channel this summer.
Oh my God.
Wow.
How long is that? How far
It's a bit longer than the English Channel. It's colder and choppier. And that's all I'm going to think about. Because anything else, I'll just get a bit more.
So how do you get it? Wow, yeah. I'm not a very good swimmer, so.
Yeah,
I
you're doing really well,
when
though.
I started.
You couldn't swim when you started?
Not really, no.
So you
can
how did
come
you
and
get
swim
into
with us.
it? As in, how did you progress from that?
Because I can swim a little bit, but I'm not, like, get out of my depth. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You should come and join us. We'll teach you.
You should, and I really want to because I want to sea swim. And so what? Obviously, you don't start in the sea. Like,
I actually did start in the sea.
Okay,
well done.
Where's this going? Come, we'll teach you. We'll throw you in the sea.
Well, so I joined them on Facebook, and then they were meeting before the pools were opened. So they were like, "We're going down to sea swim in January if you want to come." And it was freezing. It was 5 degrees. I was told a minute per degree, and then you get out of the water. But it was meeting this group of 5 people that I'd never met before, and because it was queer, I felt safer because you couldn't gender any of the names because there was lots of different, whatever names. But I thought if I was meeting 5 straight men on a beach on my own in January, I probably wouldn't go.
No.
But I was like, if it's not that, then I'm probably feel safer to go. So I went. I had no kit, no idea what I was doing, but I went and I loved it. And it was also a big pain relief because I just had my surgeries and stuff. And so I kept going back. And then the first time we had a swim in any pool was at Saltdean, which is 50 metres. And I nearly drowned. Like, I had never really done a length before. And I didn't tell anyone because I just got away with it because we've been dipping for a while. So... and I just kept going back, and then they've kind of taught me, bit by bit over 6 years, 5 years.
Wow. And how often do you meet then? How often do you swim?
Normally about 2 to 3 times a week. So we have Monday, Thursday, Saturday swims.
Amazing.
And how long did it take you to learn to swim then, in terms of like doing a length?
I think I kind of got it down that summer. You know, I don't know how, but I got away with it. Now we're a bit more stringent with who we kind of pull in because we do lessons and stuff. But I got in under the radar because of COVID. No one checked me.
No one checked if I could do it or not. Just threw myself into the deep end. Literally. I love that. So what about so in terms, we always sort of talk to people when they're on the podcast about what the industry looks like, but I guess for you, what does it look like in terms of representation of queer people within the art space, within the painting space, within what you're doing in digital art? Do you have an awareness of that being a dominated space by certain people? Or
I mean, there are some brilliant queer artists out there. There's some incredible talent, and to be able to sit there and be in awe and buy their work online is incredible. It's now for me, as a queer artist doing queer themed art, to be part of that is just out of this world. To be compared, I've had my work compared to other people that are selling thousands of prints a day in America, where I'm selling 1 or 2 a month. To even be in that same sentence is brilliant. So it is quite a massive community, and the artwork that I create is done with love and positivity, because I had quite a few years of dark period. So I've used my artwork to show that there is light, there's love, and there are beautiful people out there, and people deserve to be told that. So one of my best-selling pieces of artwork was the typography piece that says, "I fucking love you." And it's been sold and sold and sold and sold. And I've had several commissions come from that, where people say that phrase to their partner, and the response is, "I fucking love you too." So I've done all the variations in all the colours of the rainbow of that front sentence. And that's what I, for a while, had to say to myself, because I had nobody else to tell me. I had nobody else to back me up, no one else to say that it's okay. So my artwork as a queer artist is there for other queer people that don't feel loved, or that they're part of a community, or that they're welcome. So my art's there out on social media or in the gallery, just so people can read it and see it, and hopefully one day that they'll believe it. So it's nice.
I love that, and I think that there is. I get the sense that there's, if you go into a gallery, depending on where you go, and how, again, galleries are all very different in terms of how welcoming they are, how kind of, because I guess there's a lot of snobbery around a lot of art and a lot of galleries and that kind of thing. But actually, like you say, you hit the nail on the head. It's that something that feels obvious, or you don't know that someone needs to hear that, or someone, and that's why I always love to wear slogan t-shirts a lot, because it's that kind of thing of like, this one says, "I loved Britney's paintings before it was mainstream."
I clock that one. I like it.
Johnny always wears
work.
theme t-shirts.
I try to stay
tries
themed.
to do a theme.
But the
with
the point is, because in my brain, and there's loads of things like notaphase.org doing amazing things with t-shirts and collaborating with artists on things like that, where it's like, by the way, me and all my mates love, if you're trans and you're reading this, I absolutely love it, because it's stuff that needs to be seen and heard. And actually, I've I think a lot of us in the community, you struggle with your identity and how you express that identity and how you come across and how people perceive you and why that's important or why it's not important. So I think doing those things where you've got those statements and you're telling people that they're loved and they're welcome is so important, especially today.
Yeah, especially with how mental health affects everyone, but in the queer community, it's rife, unfortunately, with whether it stems from being at home or being isolated or living in a small town where you don't feel accepted, or you can be who you are. If you see something online that you go, "I like that, I resonate with that, that's hit me in a place where something shouldn't," I feel like I've done my job for the day. If I've made someone smile or smirk with something that I've created, I love it.
I love that. And Melanie, do you feel like, does that play a part in your head about whenever you're creating these pieces, these massive pieces that you're doing, like do you consider how you're going to make someone feel from it? I guess that's part of it as well, how you feel and how you make someone feel.
Yeah, I mean, I want people to look at my work and have the thing that I got when I fell in love with painting. I got lucky enough to go to New York with college when I was at sixth form, and I had an art teacher who I still claim is my only art teacher. And she made a point of taking us there, and I was quite a kind of lost and vulnerable kid, and I came out just when I got to college, and I'd lost a lot of people that wouldn't talk to me. So she took me under her wing quite a lot, and we went to the Met, and I saw this painting that I'd looked at books for at least months, and I saw it in real life, and I just stopped and stared, and she was like, "We're going to go around the whole place. We'll come back and get you." So I just sat there for the whole day and stared at this painting, and I have never loved a painting more, and it changed how I wanted to paint forever. It's a triptych. It's a Francis Bacon painting. Yeah. It's 3 studies for self-portrait. Yeah. And I didn't see the rest of the Met for the whole day. Like, I went all the way to New York and I saw one painting. And yeah, I went to see that show. I don't know how many times it came to London. Like, I just had the thing where I couldn't stop looking at it. And I think that's what I have with my painting. Like, I want people to look at it, see it, and want to see it again.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's the thing, I guess, look into art as for what it is, and you know, in the times that we're living in, and in times gone by when, you know, certain political landscapes create the kind of censor and impede the ability to create art. And I think that, you know, people don't realize the importance that art has in culture and society, that it is the thing that invokes feeling in people. Yeah. And there are some people that would rather people not feel, and people just kind of like desensitize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So, coming up to the final question. So one of them is, so what would you say to people, younger people today wanting to get into the creative world, the art world? Because, you know, we've talked about this a bit on the podcast a lot before, where kind of you come through school, everyone's like telling you to do all these different things, and creatives aren't really a thing that's really pushed on people, like becoming an actor, becoming an artist. You won't hear people say, do you want to become a lawyer or whatever. Lots of kind of, that's what's seen as success, and it isn't what defines success. And you often find that people find themselves later on. So what piece of advice would you give to a younger person listening to this podcast who wants to get into art? Obviously, you went to St. Martin's. What would you suggest? How would they start out? What would they do?
I just always wanted. As soon as someone put a paintbrush in my hand, I wanted to paint, and that was at secondary school, and I just wanted to paint. I was really lucky. I didn't go to a very good school. Like, grew up in, you know, a bit of a, you know, a forgotten part of the country. But I had an art teacher, and they would let me sit there because I used to get bullied, so I would hang out in the art room. You know, I was that kid. But I painted. I loved it, and I just did more of it. And the more of it I did, the better I got at it. And so that honing that muscle memory and stuff, and understanding where you want to go with it. You have to see enough of it. You have to immerse yourself in it. So I went to galleries a lot. I came to London a lot. My nanny used to bring me down on the coach and stuff. Like, I wanted to be in it, and I wanted, because I was a portrait painter, is what I've essentially started out as. I wanted to be in the portrait gallery. This is where I just wanted to be, and I wanted to be in front of it, but I had to be in it. And so my nana always asked me, like, how I was going to make a living, and I was like, I'll just do it. I'll just figure it out. And so I did, and I waited tables and whatever, but I just had one focus, and I just wanted to paint. I don't know how that even remotely translates to kids dealing with technology and rubbish like that, right now. I mean, I don't even want to address the elephant in the room, which is AI, but there's so much creative kind of things going on in this country, whether the government want to invest in it or not. We are doing it, and there is a community. You have to find your tribe, and there's a way to get in if you're stubborn enough. And I think you have to fight all of the outside influences to do the thing you want to do.
I love that, and you're you know, a great example of that. Even, like, you know, the things that you face, and knowing that you've got that thing, that drive to paint, to make art, to do what you love. And I think 2 things that you mentioned there. One, having a great support person, a great person who is a mentor and a guide. And I think we can all relate to sort of having that. If we don't find it in our family or in our immediate friend network, you find it sometimes in teachers or in other people. Yeah. So that's the one thing. And then also that thing where you said you looked at the triptych, you looked at that thing, and that was the beacon of, like, oh my God, I want to do that. Yeah. So I think, having to work, I guess, alongside that, and, you know, understand the realities of living, but then not letting that dream kind of go, right, it is, because you took time away from it, but it's still, you're doing what you love, and you're so it's a testament to you. It's amazing. Dan, same question. What was your advice?
My main advice would be to trust your gut. I had a feeling that one day I'd do something with my art. I don't know how it would happen. I don't know when it would happen. I knew somewhere it would. And I just kept pushing. I just started teaching myself new ways. I'd sit there with YouTube watching artists from all over the world do different experiments with sketches, and the way they'd paint, the way they'd hold a brush, the way they framed something, elevated a piece. And I just kept going, I can try that. If I fail, I'll try again. And it's all about just be persistent, just keep trying. Of course, there's going to be people out there that are going to say, I could do that. Give it a go then. If you think you can do it, give it a go. You might learn something. And we get people all the time that will say, I could be better than that. Have you started? Have you tried to do it?
Yes, start. Yeah.
So it's all about starting. It's all about being constant and continuous with something. And if you could set your mind to it, your heart will follow. You can genuinely, you can concentrate hard enough, and you can sometimes just completely zone out in your own little room with your AirPods in and just do whatever. And I found that that's become my safe space. And hopefully for someone out there, that's also their safe space from the rest of the world.
And it is like therapy, I guess, isn't it, as well? That thing, the catharsis of it.
Yeah.
And what you've spoken a little bit about, both of you, about, you know, obviously another open house, another one of those, and then getting that under your belt and showing in the Brighton Box. What is the big dream? What would you love? What are we putting out into the universe that you'd love to happen as a future version of yourself and creating what you're creating? What is that?
I mean, I don't quite know. I never thought, especially when I started as an artist with the Brighton Box, I never thought anything would ever sell. And when it started selling, I was over the moon. And then Sean, who's the owner, said that we wanted to do an exhibition. And I'd only been with the gallery for just less than a year. And to then find out the day of the exhibition that so many people had RSVP'd to come along, and I was just gobsmacked that so many people wanted to be there to see my art. And the exhibition was incredible. The feeling, the generosity, all the kind words that people were saying, it was beautiful. I never thought that would happen.
I love that.
Then I had the Meet the Artist weekend. I had a full weekend to myself to explore how people thought about my art, what they liked, what they didn't like. And I'd always been bad at taking constructive criticism, but now I take it all on the chin. It's brilliant. And I learned to tame myself. I've learned to self-edit. I've learned to...
Never tame yourself, Dan.
Never tame yourself.
No, I mean, tame myself from what I really want to say.
I was going to say, to not knock people out.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, good.
People always have their opinions, and I always
They
say
do.
that you got to just kind of keep going where you want to go. And
Yes.
you know, my old saying was always that Fido, you know, fuck it and drive on.
Yeah.
You know, there we've sworn in this one, so at least I can play the explicit thing again.
But
But it's true, but it is, because people always have opinions and try to tell you, you know, what you can do, what you can't do. You know, when I went to start a business, people are like, oh, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you've got this amazing job with an amazing car, which I did, but I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something. And I always knew that's what I wanted to do, was have my own business, have that freedom, go out and help people. That's what I wanted to do, and that's the best thing I've ever done.
And I think that's I always say it's that I've said this so many times in this podcast, but being queer, I feel, is like that superpower where you know that the rules that have been set are not real, because you know they don't define us, and we need to find new paths and find new ways of doing things, and that sometimes spawns these most amazing things. And like that's where I think a lot of the times, even though our community is dealing with a lot more pressure of things of the outside world and having to deal with stuff, it also makes things limitless, because you know that you can surpass these things, these rules and these
Oh,
expectations.
absolutely. It's just about pushing boundaries, breaking barriers, and stepping over that line and seeing where it takes you.
Yeah. So where can people find you on Instagram, Dan?
So I'm Dan Taffs,
Dan
with two
Taffs.
N's.
with two N's.
Or via the Brighton Box's Instagram account as well.
Brighton Box. Fab.
And Melanie, you mentioned earlier about
Your
you're
question.
happy to have people come along and see your space. Whereabouts is that exactly that people?
I'm in Hove, St Anne's. There is a booking page on my website.
Okay.
To book like times to come.
And your
down.
website is
MelanieThePainter.com.
MelanieThePainter.com.
I love that. It's like, yes, I'm Melanie the Painter.
Well, we still need you to finish that question for us. So
Yeah,
what's the big one for you? What's the big... What
If you
I'd
could ask
still
the
like
universe-
to be in
the
the
dream?
national.
like
That's
to
where
be
I
in the
want to be.
national.
Yeah.
do it. And I always say, write it down, have it somewhere.
Yeah.
I wrote my goals down in
Yeah.
2018,
Okay.
and I've got them in my pocket. I've talked about it a lot. I do a lot of talks on it. And, I met this guy, Marcus Child, who said, go and write the 3 things down you want, carry it around with you every day, or whether you put it in a phone or whatever, but it's kind of nice to have it physical. But write it down and kind of look at it all the time. I think it's really, really kind of important. Mine was to have my own business, to franchise it, to be financially free and have a place in Ibiza or France.
Just those things.
Those
Just
are the
those
things that I wrote down,
Yeah.
right? But it's there all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I look at it and I think, so we're there. We're on our way. We've started our franchise business. I've got my own business, so we're on our way. We're ticking it off. So it's always there. It's always having that goal. It's always having that thing, that motivation. It doesn't have to be about money. It's just about life or wanting to feel that achievement for yourself. And I think it's a great thing to be at the National.
The National
write it
Portrait
down, put
Gallery
it
is
somewhere.
where you're going to be.
Yeah, and we'll have
We're manifesting.
I mean,
We're
the only thing is I'm painting landscapes currently, so I
Yeah,
need to go back to portraiture at some
Yeah.
point. But
This is the
yeah.
journey, though.
I
But
know.
it's a journey, but
Yeah.
always be thinking about where you want to go. And
I do find it. I could talk all day, but I
Yeah.
find it fascinating that intersection of like landscapes and then into portraiture and how they inform and how your kind of muscle of what you're doing now
Yeah.
then contributes to what you'll do after.
Yeah, I
Very
feel like I'm
exciting.
still learning with it, but it's a good
love
it's
it.
a good journey, to be honest. Both, yeah.
It's been lovely to have you in.
yes.
Thank you so much for joining us, and listeners flock to those locations to support our lovely Dan and Melanie.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.